Welcome to the Cubby Jaxon show. We got a lot to get to today. There's just a lot of drama going on between North Carolina already being destroyed. We have a hurricane here in Florida. My wife and I are actually in the path. It's probably about two, maybe 2.5, 3 hours from hitting us. And there's been some stuff all over the place today. We've had tornadoes everywhere. I noticed on the Florida website there was 68 tornadoes recorded, and Helene had 47. So if that don't tell you how bad some of this stuff is, luckily for Carolyn and I, the north side of the storm is the worst. So at least we're safe here and we're loaded up. We got the food, we got the ammo, we got the Second Amendment protection stuff. We got about 2 weeks worth of water, we got about 3 months worth of food. We got about a week worth of fuel, and the generator's running perfect. And amazing, the power's still on. We have two friends within within 20 minutes of us, and both of their communities are completely out of power. Um, my buddy Mike, he's been out of power now for going on 2.5 hours. And I tried to reach him. I tried to call him back over the last half an hour, and his phone's going right to voicemail. And I'm pretty confident his phone's charged. So we're going to have to figure that out. But yeah, they've had tornadoes all over the place. And this is just nuts stuff, man. Nuts.
Look at that bit. God.
See it? Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. That's wicked. First time I've seen one in a long time since it's been out of Colorado.
And this stuff.
Look at that bit.
That's just tearing up a path.
At this image, this is incredible to see that clear view of the tornado. You can even see the debris at the bottom of the cyclone. And as we take a look, those clouds looking very dark and ominous. And you can see the cars driving by. I mean, all depending on when it moved and crossed across Alligator Alley. Hopefully there was no one in its path. At least we don't know of yet any accident.
Yeah, that was a beast, man. There was another lady that we saw. She posted a video, friend of a friend. I saw it was shared on my news feed, and she's over in Palm Beach, and they got these two massive water spouts. Again, this was hours before landfall. Right now, we're getting pounded. It just hit landfall. I'm going to say less than an hour ago, and it hit right in Bradenton, right off of Siesta Key, which is exactly an hour and 30 minutes due west of us. It is moving a little bit northwest, but the way it's coming in, it's like 20 miles from where we're at. So, we're trying to hold on and just pray that power stays out. Just pray people stay safe. So yeah, these are the two water spouts that hit Palm.
Oh my God, sister water spouts off of Palm Beach. They look like they're going to hit each other. Oh my God. This is crazy. Oh wow. Oh my God, are they going to hit each other? Oh my God. Oh my God, now it's a huge one. Oh my God. No. Oh my God.
Oh man, and I'm sure people up north, you guys get tornadoes a lot. Some of them F4, F5s are just absolutely some of the most creepiest things I've ever seen, and horrific at a moment's notice. At least hurricanes, we know they're coming. And a lot of people I know, like I was raised down here. I was born in Ohio, but I moved down here at a young age and raised down here. And Floridians don't run from these things. We just don't. But the one thing you have to worry about is storm surge. Now, this storm surge, if you ever hear that term storm surge from hurricanes, especially down here in Florida, the Gulf, South Carolina, I think they're pretty familiar with it. But up north, when you hear storm surge, you're probably thinking big waves. And what this storm surge does, as the hurricane's getting closer, it sucks a lot of the water back to the storm. So when it hits landfall, it pushes these baby tsunamis in here, man. Some of these things get 8, 9, 10, 12 feet, and they're expecting 12 feet. They're in St. Pete when it was supposed to hit. I don't know how much that's went down, but as we played on the show Sunday, St. Pete, they got like 3, 4, 5 feet of sand. I mean, we saw cars buried up to the door handles. So a lot of that sand that pushed in is still there. And they, if they're expecting 10 feet, you might as well just add 3 or 4 feet to it. At 14 feet, this is on the second floor. And, as much as I don't want to say this, people are going to die in this storm. This storm is nothing to fuck with, man. And they got, beyond the storm surge, I know they opened up a lot of shelters. There was supposed to be like 30,000 people that could fit in these shelters. And a lot of people just don't have the money to leave. Man, I saw a bunch of clips on my TikTok and my Instagram and my Reddit and my Getter that, if they have no money, they can't leave. Pardon me. That's just kind of the way it goes. So even though you might have friends or family you go to, for the ones that don't, those are the ones that are going to be in trouble, because if they don't have the money, they don't have the resources, they don't have a generator, they don't have, a few days worth of food, they don't have 3 or 4 days of water. If you got kids, then you're just making it dangerous for everybody. And down here in Florida, all we care about is family and God and the Second Amendment and the Constitution. So, I think the most thing people need to worry about, the only people that need to worry right now are the looters, because looters meet shooters down here in the state of Florida. We don't play that shit. But storm surge is what people have to worry about. And I want to play this clip from my northern friends and family because, when you hear storm surge, you're thinking, oh, 10, 12-foot waves. But these aren't waves. This is actually a punishing thing. Some of these things go miles inshore. So I'm going to play this little clip here for you about storm surge so you kind of grasp the situation.
So what does that look like? Well, let's show you. Imagine this. Imagine 3 feet of storm surge right here. Now, if this amount of water catches you by surprise, it's too late to evacuate. Cars are floating around and floating away. There's large objects in here that could knock things down with a battering ram-like force. Now, there's no way, again, to evacuate with this kind of storm surge. But we know there's going to be places with more than 3 feet. Imagine 6 feet of storm surge. Now, this completely floods out the first floors of homes and businesses, and the only way to escape that is to move to the higher floor of a building. Now, unfortunately, there are going to be places that get more than 6 feet of storm surge flooding. Imagine this, 9 feet and even beyond of flooding, of inundation. This is practically not survivable. So please follow the advice of your local officials when they ask you to evacuate. And if you have any questions about what evacuation zone you're in, if you need to go and or where you need to go to floridadisaster.org. And by all
And that's 9 feet. So if you can imagine what 12 feet looks like, then that's just some terrible stuff. I see we got Mr. Hooks back in the live chat. Thank you for joining us, my friend. And again, it's been 7 months since I've done a broadcast. I don't know if you caught Sunday show. We did like a little 30-minute show, my wife and I. She's been my executive producer, and we have Wilson here on standby. And it's just the storm surge, it's just a terrible thing. You can go through the fuel and the generators and the food and all that stuff. But if you're anywhere near the storm surge, you have to get away. You just have to get away. And apparently somebody else joined the election. I don't know where this guy is. I saw the clip today, but if he was running, I'd vote.
Vote for me, because I'm not fucking 95 years old, and I still remember where I parked my truck a few hours ago. Because I'm running for shit. Vote for me, and I'll make it a law that if you talk shit on the internet, you have to fist fight in real life. Because I'm running for shit. Vote for me, and I'll make everybody that's in the fucking Senate and Congress work in fast food for the next 8 fucking years. Because I'm running for shit. Vote for me, and if we got a problem with another country, I'll catch a fair one with their leader, and it'll be fucking done with. No more wars. Because I'm running for shit. This message is approved.
This dude's a trip. I love this guy. And you have to have some humor in what's going on. Not to make it funny, but just to kind of break the monotony, because there's so many people dead up in North Carolina and Georgia and Florida. That hit up around where we used to live there in that Horseshoe Beach area. And the panhandle in Florida got absolutely pounded, man. Georgia got pounded. South Carolina got pounded. I know everybody's putting a big emphasis on North Carolina, and that's a great thing that people are bringing supplies and trying to help some of these families. Sunday show, we did a thing about the pack mules and the pack goats. This company, they're for the people that can't get a helicopter in, because a lot of these places where they're landing the helicopters are cleaning out a spot for them to land. These cats, man, are going up on horses with pack mules, bringing supplies to some of these seniors that can't get off the mountain. And that's a really good story. But yeah, let me click through my videos here. It's kind of hard to look at the camera while I'm doing it, because I do this all by myself. Like I tell people, it's I don't play a lawyer or a doctor on TV, and I'm not one here, and I'm not some sort of executive producer. I'm still trying to learn the software, so I just try to do the best I can. And We're going to go through this clip. I want to play this clip real quick, and then we're just going to quickly move on because I don't like talking about Kamala Harris at all. But this was a clip that they played where she's wearing the same earrings that she wore on the debate, and they were wondering if it was a microphone. Tell me, does this let you know if that's a microphone?
Flood. We really got to watch.
Let me set this up real quick. So she's asking the guys through the microphone if she's telling them it's a live broadcast and that they're telling her what to say. So it takes a second, but check it out. Watch real close.
Flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while for that water to drain.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ken, I have a question for you. You mentioned words matter, and
Did you hear it? Did you catch it? She's saying it's a live
flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while.
She's covering her mouth when she says it, but yeah, what a, man. I mean, there's a few things in this world that I can deal with and even tolerate at some point. But somebody like this who has spent their entire, what's that, Wilson? Yeah, someone who's spent their entire political career face down, ass up, trying to get ahead is not who we want. Wilson said, "Do we really want an escort in the White House?" I don't know, man. We'll have to ask. Ask somebody what they think about that. Donald Trump today, and this is pretty awesome, man. They did a prayer for the linemen, and we're going to play the prayer here in a second. But I want you to understand, he put up 275 linemen at the Duval Resort for these guys waiting to help hurricane victims, and this was.
Joshua Asu. Keith Wales. Cody Johnson? Yep. Ben Williams. Kyle Erickson. Who are you? Kyle.
Everything's booked. And I keep saying, like, we're down here. We watch I-4, I-75 North, I-95, packed. I mean, millions of people leaving. And I'm thinking, where the hell are you going? I mean, Georgia's destroyed. South Carolina's destroyed. North Carolina's destroyed. I think some of that storm actually hit in South Virginia pretty good, too. And these stores are out of supplies. There's nothing. There's no gas. There's no food. There's no water. This is why people are – and I don't know where they're going, man. I just don't know where they're going. I would like to know if anybody in the chat, has an idea, or you want to email me at Cubby Jaxon, Jaxon @gmail.com. And kind of, I mean, if you got family or friends, I get it, but millions of people can't be leaving to go stay with somebody. I want to know where the hell they're going. I just want to know. But here's the prayer for the linemen. This was pretty awesome.
We love you and we praise you for this day. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the crisp, cool air. Father, I just ask for protection, provision, and guidance today as we're out in the field. Father, strengthen our hands, our eyes, our minds, our ears, and our feet to do your will. Please guide us as we're in the field so that we would be a light shining to the feet of your Son, Lord. Will we just be able to show the gospel through our works? Will we have words fitly spoken, prayers rightly justified, and your ear be open to us? We love you, we serve you, and we praise you, Yeshua Messiah. Please help us today. It's in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen to that. Yeah, that North Carolina stuff's serious. The mayor, one of the mayors here in North Carolina, had something to say about FEMA. And if you think everything you've been hearing is a lie, you got to watch this clip.
Literally, what is FEMA? So my daughter, whose house got completely wiped out, she has no flood insurance, meets with a FEMA person, applies for everything doesn't get the $750 that Kamala says that she's supposed to get, gets approved for $300 for personal items. What is that going to do? That's literally what she got. Her entire first floor is wiped out. We hauled everything off. It's gone. So what is FEMA? And being a mayor,
so they didn't even give her the full $750.
They didn't even give her $750. Denied the $750.
They gave her $300.
They gave her $300. That won't even cover what's in the refrigerator.
Man, I need a drink. I can't cope with this stuff, man. I mean, $750. They gave the ones in Maui $700 too. And I had made a comment that the storm that hit Maui, that area that it hit, is where they produce a lot of the lithium for this country. And then you saw it hit North Carolina, that Rock Ridge. I can't think of the name of it right now, but that's one of the main lithium deposits here in the United States. And I caught a couple clips of Alex Jones. I like Alex Jones, regardless of what people say about him. And he's got some paperwork from the Pentagon from back in the 60s, how they were able to navigate this with lasers. We talked about it Sunday. And I just find it really crazy that within a couple years of this administration being in office, that the two major lithium deposits in this country both got hit with hurricanes. And now they're coming out with how they guide them. I think that's just creepy shit, man. That just creeps me out. But I think for sure everybody wants to pray that they're safe, at least as safe as they can be. And the people over in St. Pete and the Panhandle, they're all getting pounded again. I mean, when that thing went up the coast, it ripped up a lot of roofs, and a lot of people died. And we always care about that. This was an Elon Musk interview. I'm gonna try to play it here real quick, and this will tell you all you need to know, because I find it very strange that of all the richest people in this world, at least in this country, that don't want to save this country, and you wonder why, and you start digging through the details, you find a lot of dirt from the World Economic Forum to Bill Gates to these companies that they've already admitted they want to cut the population in half, so they're messing up the food. They're Americans are dying, man, all over this country from starvation and homelessness, and they don't want to do anything about it. But yet they'll give $30,000 a pop to the illegal immigrants coming in this country. People are dying, man. Americans are dying, and this administration gives two shits whether they live or die. Check this out.
I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support, if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah. Do you think Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable?
Yes, and Gates.
And Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people are all corrupt. That Epstein Island, I mean, come on, dude. If that's not some of the creepiest, most illegal shit you've ever heard of in your life. And P. Diddy's the white Epstein. And I think Oprah's his Maxine Waters, because you watch these clips. I've seen Oprah in about 8 or 9 of these clips with P. Diddy. And even sitting with, what's the blonde chick's name? She was sitting with her on the couch and introduced her to P. Diddy too. And that's creepy, dude. If Oprah's in trouble, man. Oprah, Will Smith, all the rest of these clowns. And this is exactly what I think. This is exactly how I feel. And I think every single conservative voter in this country feels the same way.
Sean, this is the gravest betrayal of American citizens this country has ever seen. The reason why those Americans in North Carolina, those mothers, those fathers, those precious little children, were left to die, were left on rooftops begging their government for help that never came, is because Kamala Harris turned FEMA into an illegal alien resettlement agency. Its manpower, its dollars, its resources, its mental energy was spent over the last 4 years learning how to do one thing: how to get illegal aliens from outside the country into your town. And so when disaster struck, they were not ready, they were not prepared, they were not capable, and they did not care. And our fellow citizens, including babies, children, young kids, were left to suffer and drown. They did not scramble the helicopters. They did not scramble the military. They did not send needed assistance. But if those children had been living in a foreign country, they've been living in Haiti, or they've been living in Venezuela, why then Kamala Harris would have sent in help immediately. A betrayal like we've never seen before, Sean. This is infuriating. Sean.
Yeah, that's intense, man. And I mean, when you think about the problems that we have in this country, on top of everything else is the kids. They went after Trump, since 2015, since he walked down that escalator. And I get one side wanting to attack another, but then they went after the kids, man. They took the Bibles out of school. They started telling little boys they were little girls. All the transitioning stuff going on with minors that don't need parents' consent, like in California, Minnesota. I thought when they went after the kids, America would have stood up, and it wasn't enough. And I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, when they're going after your children and enough isn't enough, I don't know what's going to be, man. I don't know what's going to be enough. They've these institutions, the FBI, the DOJ, the CDC. I mean, even the FDA, this food, they have 1,000 chemicals in the food they sell here in the country. As far as I'm concerned, it's chemical warfare on the American people. I think it's the most grossest thing I've ever researched with the lab grown meat and shit. But Beyond that, the chemicals, because they ain't allowed to sell the same stuff here they sell overseas. Europe, Mexico, the Middle East, they're not allowed to sell the same stuff. If you look at one of the boxes side by side over there, it'll say like grain, herbs, whatever it may be. And then you look at the same thing here and it's polysorbate 80, corn syrup. I mean, the list is this long. It's just gross, man. But Trump did the interview earlier, or was doing his rally earlier. And this was probably the best clip of the rally. And I think this is a staple on how he feels and how he's going to save this country.
Then I go on woke. You could put them in a woke room and scream at them for 2.5 years. They'd walk out and they'd say, let me at them. These are not woke people. But I had this little clip, and I thought you'd find it very interesting. It's the military of the past. Let's call it the Trump military, compared to the very woke military that we have now. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your ass! You will not laugh! You will not cry! You will learn by the numbers!
Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a summer of pride.
So you're a killer? Sir, yes, sir! Let me see your war face! Sir, you got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah! Bullshit! You didn't convince me! Let me see your real war face! Ah! You will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death, praying for war. But until that day, you are puke. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit.
How to abracadabra, these bitches know I got answers the way I...
It looks to me like the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress.
I can't watch anymore. These are the generals and the captains involved in the military right now. If that don't make you sick to your stomach, look, if you want to be some closet soldier, more power to you. But this military don't need no limp wrist, man. We need alpha males and alpha females that are going to protect this nation. And right now, that ain't happening either. Oh, good Lord, God help us. I want to say, God bless everybody in the southern states. We really need the help right now. And I hope everybody stays safe. And we're going to cut the show a little short because I got some stuff clanking around outside. We're going to have to go outside and see what's going on. And hopefully we can hang on to power as long as we can. I know there's a lot of communities around us that have already lost power. And the storm just made landfall. And prayers go out to everybody. Be safe. Thanks for watching. I love you. And I hope you enjoyed the Cubby Jaxon show, baby.